Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the July 2020 third Thursday. I'm here with Lloyd. I'm here with John Cappa. I'm here with Ryan Green. We're excited to give you this month's updates about what's going on. And, as these times that we're in continue to be a little bit, normal adjacent, not normal, whatever you want to call it. But either way, we're excited to come to you this morning and tell you a little bit about what's going on. So first and foremost, I want to turn it over to John so he can let us know what's going on with everything in the title industry.
Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well, and thank you for tuning in. So what's going on over the past month in the title and closing business, we've definitely seen an uptick. May was very shocking. It slowed down, but June, there was definitely a pickup, and we're seeing, I'm sure Ryan will speak to this, a lot of refinancings, some incredible deals for purchase money mortgages. I think just recently, the interest rates we've seen on those were as low as 2.75. Ryan can talk more about that. You might have to pay a little money, but it was unbelievable. 30-year fixed mortgage. Investors, we've had several investors leaping into the market, definitely in the investor range of 150 to 250 or 300 or so. That market is still moving. We are very busy. So the month of June, we've done many refinancings, many new purchases, and investors selling investment properties, and people buying these properties for to live in, single family or homestead properties. Now, with the uptick, we have also seen a delay because people are working from home. So when you order an appraisal, lien searches, municipal lien searches with the city of St. Petersburg, insurance, binding insurance, we're finding delays in all of that because people are working from home. So where it may have taken 2 days for a lien search or 3 days for a lien search, we're now looking at 2 weeks. And it's not because there's this rush of market or action in the market. It's really because of dealing with COVID. But we are definitely seeing people come into the market, whether they're investors or people, pulling the trigger to buy a home. And I think really as an agent, you need to really keep pointing out that interest rates, I'm not sure how much lower they can really go. I don't think they can go any lower. Maybe a little bit, but there's not much. So it's a great time if you're a buyer, and I think we just need to motivate people to get out there and look at houses and pull the trigger. But hopefully things will get better with COVID, and hopefully I think more people coming back to work is going to make things speed up, and hopefully we'll see it continuing through the end of the year with the market increasing.
Gotcha.
That's really all I have to say.
Nice. It sounds like there's still definitely, even though things are weird and kind of not normal, there's definitely opportunity out there, though, it sounds like.
Yes, there is definitely an opportunity. We are still doing closings, whether they're remote closings, whether they're online, notarization, or here in our office. We've kind of got it figured out. People can come in, sit on the opposite side of the table. Everybody wears masks. And you feel very comfortable doing the closing.
Nice, perfect. Great, thank you, John. Let's hear. I'm gonna turn it over to Ryan now, so we can kind of get a perspective as to what's going on the lending side of things. Ryan, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, the mortgage rates, like John was referring to, are very, very good right now. Very, very good. So I know that the 30 years. You definitely can get down to like a 2.75 on a 30-year. And John was alluding to points there. It's worth it to pay points right now in some of these scenarios, to pay like $1,000 extra or something like that to get a 2.75, because it's going to end up saving you in the long run. Over the life of the loan, it's going to save thousands of dollars in comparison to paying that extra $1,000. So points are a good thing right now. They're not a bad thing to get that even lower and lower. So we can do that with some lenders, but I mean there are other lenders that are offering even like I just quoted somebody at 2.82 with no points. So I mean it's possible that we're getting down without points and having to pay for it, but it's kind of a customary thing to be able to get it lower now that the points are involved. So that's definitely a good point, John. It's not a bad thing to pay a little extra sometimes to save a lot in the long run. So it kind of just depends on each person's scenario. So it's good. The 15-year loans, the average is at like a 2.6% right now. So I know that I've quoted people down into the 2.5, 2.4 range as well. So those are crazy low as well. So they're doing really well. I have noticed a lot more pre-approvals from real estate agents though recently. So I probably have about 10 of those out right now. So there's a lot of people that are in the buying market. They've been putting offers on houses. Some of them are just not necessarily being rejected, but they're multiple offer scenarios. So it seems like a lot of these are multiple offers actually that are going on. It's active. I mean, to me, I think that sounds like a good thing. It looks like we just need a little more inventory, the story that it's been for a while, right? So, but yeah, that's promising to me, because that means, that's happening more and more as far as the purchase market goes. So yeah, overall though, I mean, the environment's fantastic. I read an article the other day that was talking about rates going down under 1%. And I just thought that was insane. I mean, it was out of Orlando, but I don't think that that's accurate. So if you're seeing things out there from different news organizations talking about stuff like that, I would take that stuff with a grain of salt because they are almost as low as they can be for these lenders to be able to make any money as far as their margins go. So they're squeezing very, very tight right now to even be doing what they're doing, but it's a necessity. So that's what they're doing at this point. So just keep that in mind when you're talking with your clients, or your clients bring up that type of stuff, because those things do come up often. I mean, everyone's on their phone all the time. Facebook is rolling through with different news articles. So you can't believe everything that you read and see out there. So call your mortgage experts so we can talk to you about the reality of what's going on. So that's all that I have for today, Paul.
Sounds good. Definitely don't trust anything that comes out of Orlando, right? That's what I'm getting from you. But yeah, and like I've said this in the past, send people to Ryan. I sent someone to Ryan the other day, and they've been going back and forth, and they're trying to set something up, some creative financing options. And Ryan certainly knows his stuff, and he can help them out. So continue to send them his way. So perfect. And to finish up here, let's go over to Lloyd, talk about a little bit of what's going on from the brokerage side of things. Lloyd, whenever you're ready.
All right, thanks, Paul, and a big thanks to our Elite Complete team. John and Ryan, thank you so much for your insights. I appreciate it, and I know everybody appreciates it as well. And a big thanks to Paul, our third Thursday virtual host, for doing such a good job as well. We're going to talk a little bit today about some statistics from June out of the MLS, because I think they're really interesting, number one. And number two, you really need to know this, but did you realize that active listings are down 29% over last year? That's just crazy statistic. Months of inventory. We are down to 2.6 months of inventory, which I think is incredibly low, maybe even historically low. And these statistics are telling a story, by the way, and I'm going to get to that in a second. The other interesting thing, by the way, is that average sales prices are actually up about 10%. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us a couple of things. Number one, we need listings. There's just no doubt about it. And it's a great time to be a seller. And if you're looking at the interest rates, it's also a great time to be a buyer. So when you're having those conversations with your potential sellers and potential buyers for that much, This is information I think they absolutely need to know. The average person, interestingly enough, thinking about selling, believes that it's not a good time to sell and that home values are going down. Just not true. It's just not true. And we need to get that word out there on the street and start talking to people about selling and about buying. So speaking of conversations, so how many conversations are you having with your database and your circle of influence these days? I know we can't necessarily have coffee. We can't, unfortunately, go to lunch. I'm dying to go to lunch. So please, COVID, go away. But we just can't do it. But there are so many things that we can do with our database and our circle of influence. And you've heard me preach this 1,000 times. So it's 1,001. We can make phone calls. We can send text. We can send out some informative information through email, like items of value, information that's real information about buying and selling. We can do a few contactless pop buys, and we can write a few personal notes. All of that probably sounds a little familiar today because over the past week or so, I've sent a couple of pretty good scripts your way for making some phone calls. I've sent some fun ideas for contactless pop buys. I've sent a plethora of information about information you can send via email. I just did and recorded and sent to you a career development snippet on the power of writing personal handwritten notes. So many things we can do in this impersonal, contactless world. We have good information to share and we need to share it. So keep checking your email. I know you get a lot of email from me, and I appreciate it when you respond. At least I know that some people are looking at it, and I hope you're using it. So that's my sermon today. There's good information out there. It's a great time to sell. It's a great time to buy. It's a great time to refinance. And that's the story we are sticking with, folks. So let's go out there and tell our circle of influence the good news about this COVID period we're in. Okay, we're going to move into something more fun, into the Diamond Award. I have the Diamond Award actually sitting here in front of me. And in case you forget what it says success only reached with an ongoing commitment to excellence. Last month's winner of the Diamond Award was Steve Grove. And Steve sent me his choice for this month's recipient. And I think, by the way, it's a well-deserved reward. So I'm going to read what Steve wrote about the new award winner. I would like to give the Diamond Award this month to Ryan Green. I know we don't see each other right now or go to the office very often. For that reason, I chose Ryan as I've worked with him and sent him some potential clients for either getting approved for a loan or even a refinance. Ryan has been very responsive and informative to my clients and their needs. I know a couple of clients that will use Ryan's services as soon as they're ready. I thank you, Ryan, for what you do and are doing for the RMS Elite Complete team. I look forward to working with you and building our business to become a more impressive and complete working machine. Thank you, Steve Grove. So thank you, Steve, and congratulations, Ryan. Very, very well deserved, by the way. So that's awesome. Guys, I know it's really easy right now to feel a little depressed, pessimistic, negative. I understand. But I think we'd be better served if we tried to look at all the positive things that are happening right now. And as a result of those positive things, all the opportunities that are out there waiting for us, you know, I like to look at what's happening right now as opportunity, where the glass is half full and we can use that information to help people understand the real estate market, the title market, the mortgage market. We have such wonderful resources. I'd love for you to use them even more than you do already. I think my Wednesday words of wisdom kind of sum it up well from Mr. Warren Buffett. He said, "The truth is, everything that's happened in my life that I thought was a crushing event at the time has turned out for the better." That's the way I'm kind of looking at what's going on right now, as difficult as it is. It's going to change. It's going to get better. But let's take what we've got and let's make some lemonade from the lemons that we've been given. And I think we'll all be better off for it. So again, I appreciate your listening to us today. And Paul, back to you.
Sorry, I was muted. Thank you, Lloyd. Lots of, great words of wisdom there. I saw a similar quote the other day that was saying that, I forget who it's by, but it said experience is the hardest kind of teacher, because the lesson comes after the test, right? Our whole lives we've studied and we've done all this prep work to take an exam. When you have a tough situation come on, when you have a difficult experience, you have to, deal with that, and then you learn the lesson afterwards. So I think, a lot of that is very similar to what you said. And, I think we're all going to come out of this and learn a lot about ourselves, and we'll come out even more resilient. Before we sign off, Ryan, if you wanted to say anything, I know you just won the Diamond Award. I'm happy to turn it over to you.
Yes, I'd like to thank Steve Grove for the award. I'm really happy to receive it. Actually, that's fantastic. You guys have been so welcoming of me over the past year. I can't believe it's almost been a year actually since I sat down with Mike and we decided to go on this adventure together. But we've been growing and we hope to continue to grow. And honestly, we can't do it without the agents and without you guys. So I really appreciate all the questions and business that you guys have been able to help us with. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Terrific stuff. And again, it all comes back to the Elite Complete team. We do basically everything that you'd need to have happen here. So never feel, like you can't ask questions or you can't reach out to people. We're all here to help. And that will conclude our third Thursday for July. Thanks for tuning in, and best of luck to everyone moving forward.